I thought at the beginning of the fourth we had a couple of good looks, some wide open threes that didn't go in, and then we got really stagnant. The game really slowed down for both teams. We got stagnant. We weren't getting into the paint as much as we had, and we had some tough looks at the end of the clock.
Through the first three quarters, you guys had 33 fast break points. Fourth quarter didn't have any. What kind of changed in the transition game? Was it part of that stagnation that you were talking about?
A little bit of stagnation, a little bit at the end that they scored down the stretch, so we were taking the ball on that, but we weren't playing with the same pace. I think we did it a little bit early, but as that game got under probably 6 minutes, that game got very slow for both teams, so it became really a half-court grind-out game.
What did you see on the defense on Clarkson?
Clarkson got going. I mean, he had 20 at something at the half, I think. We kind of missed a couple blown coverages early. We weren't great defensively in the first half at all. I thought the second half we stepped up. We were better. But then he had some tough shots late.
Brian, even if you guys start slow, you tend to kind of pick up the pace, and as opposed to tonight, do you know why the stagnation occurred in the fourth, or what you were seeing?
I think that's how the game sometimes goes. The fourth game is, if you look at analytically, the game typically slows down for all teams in the fourth quarter. We probably didn't get the shots that we wanted. I thought we had pretty good ball movement before that, but we weren't attacking. We were getting into stuff a little bit late in the clock, and we weren't able to penetrate their defense and get good looks.
Do you have an update on Marvin if you guys left with access?
I don't have that, no.
What did you see from Jordan tonight, especially early?
Jordan's been great. Like, this is what Jordan has been doing for a while here. So Jordan attacking, obviously hitting tough shots, but it's the speed and the pace that he's playing. He really carried us in that first half.
How did Bilal look in terms of?
I thought he looked good. His conditioning looked good. He looked physically good. Good to get him back on the court.
We just didn't get enough stops. They came down, and their scoring punch combo backcourt really affected us all night. So.
Given how much time you have in the league, how do you stay positive in terms of the long-term direction of the team?
Like I said, you got to have short-term memory, and you have to just have faith at the end of the day. Those two things always, I think, keep me positive in my life. Being patient, having faith, and I would say that right now.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that we slowed it down in the fourth quarter. Closer to the end of the game, you kind of want to, get good shots. I know we want to play fast and play in transition, but later in the game, we don't want to play out of control. We're a young team, so we're still kind of figuring out when to pick and choose our spots, when to be aggressive, when to get out in transition, to feel the flow of the game, and then when to slow it down, when to get into a set, and try to figure out what shot we want. Tough loss, but I think it's really good for our team to kind of experience this early. A lot of young guys like Bilal is in at the end of the game, then he's in at the end of the game. 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗧𝗓𝗢𝗪 and myself have been there before, so just trying to figure out kind of how to teach the way to play down the stretch.
When you are playing slow then and working out of sets, do you like the shots that you got tonight and they just weren't falling? Or what's the issue then?
We could have got better shots in the stretch. You don't want to take away the level of aggressiveness, but we need to have better of a plan to know who we want to get the ball to and what we want to run. Comes with time, comes with experience.
So better planning, not necessarily execution.
You can always have better planning and better execution, but it takes experience to figure out how to do it on the floor and on the fly as opposed to calling timeout, having coach call the set. I think that's what we're figuring out right now.
How did Clarkson get free as much as he did and do as much damage as he did?
He's a good player. They got a really good system in place for him. He got aggressive down the stretch. They were hitting and holding their screens. I was creating some space for him, and he was able to get to his spots.
You've been at high level for many years, and now you're dealing with this losing streak. How do you maintain faith in that there will be better days ahead for the team next year and beyond?
Just kind of how I explain, use these games as experience to try to slow the game down in the fourth quarter, be more diligent, be more intentional with what we want to run, what we want to get to, what coverages we want at the end of the game, who we want in the screens, when to attack, when not to attack. So it comes with time, but it's fun, essentially, to be in those close moments at the end of the game. Right now we're learning, and next year or in a couple of years we'll be able to have the experience to know what to get to and how to execute better.
Jordan, you're in the middle of that 8 for 8 start. What is that?
The what?
The 8 for 8 start. You shot 8 for 8 to start.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? I know that's a dumb question, but it's got to feel very good.
I mean, just playing my game, honestly, being aggressive. When I get open looks, just take them. That's really about it. I mean, every shot that I shoot, I expect it to go in, unless I wouldn't be shooting it. Got going early tonight. Yeah.
Is there any through line you can draw between the Lakers game, where you guys were close and couldn't close it out in the fourth, and this one, or were they just two totally different situations?
Similar down the stretch, on the road. Loud atmosphere. Again, just kind of getting to what we want to get to, who we want to have the ball, who we want shooting, who we want making plays. Comes with the level of maturity as well as just learning, just knowing what to do in those moments. It's really, honestly, just all experience. That's all I can really say.